for us to be able to appreciate what the environment is. Globally, there are a lot of pressures on economies of different countries. We have headwinds of inflation and rising prices. And we also have a lot of political instability all over the world. All these are, what shape what is happening in Lagos State. What happens globally also affects what happened in Lagos State. Let me also say clearly, and maybe I should just reiterate, that the two major decisions or two major policy decisions of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu when he assumed office, which is the policy of exchange rate liberalization, and also the policy of what we called removal of the subsidies on oil. Those two policies shaped what we now experience in the Nigerian economy. All of a sudden, prices started rising. Prices of consumer items, prices of goods, particularly food inflation, to the extent that at the time, food inflation went as high as 37%. But after the consumer price index was rebased, food inflation reduced to about 23%. Now we are trying to rebase the gross domestic product. We believe that the Nigerian economy is bigger than what we think it is. And we believe, strongly so, that after the GDP is rebased, and all the informal sector figures are added, I have a feeling that the size of the Nigerian economy might be close to $1 trillion. Having established that, because those are the macroeconomic conditions, those things also, you can imagine, when prices of items begins to rise, when people begin to suffer, or when daily living becomes so difficult for a lot of people, you can imagine how it will affect their pocket. It affected their pocket. A lot of people were not also able to pay their taxes. Some were not able to pay their fees. So I just established that for you to know the kind of challenges that Ministry of Finance has to deal with. Revenue generation at the federal level also faces a shortfall. Although the federal government has set an ambitious revenue target of 36 trillion for 2025, actual collection is slowing down, with about 1.9 trillion recorded in January, a 31% decline from December 2024 figure. So you can see that this twin policy objective has some tempering to the economic growth of Nigeria. In this challenging macroeconomic environment, Lagos State stands at a critical junction with a GDP by PPP, purchasing power parity, estimated at $259 billion. Lagos, I must say, is not only Nigeria's economic and financial hub, but also Africa's largest subnational economy. The state is particularly sensitive to national and global fluctuations. To combat this, the Lagos Ministry of Finance has responded with deliberate and strategic policy initiatives. These efforts have not only buffered the state finances from shocks, but have also positioned Lagos State as a leader in subnational financial management. Trillion internally generated revenue in 2024 was made. This was a 45% increase from 895 billion in 20. I think this deserves a round of applause. Imagine, we said we are going to generate, in fact, over 45 increase when you compare to the corresponding year. Even over the budget, it was over the budget. One of the major heads, or revenue head of Ministry of Finance, and I'm going to dwell on this much later, is land use charge. Remember, I had mentioned some of the problems with some of these headwinds that took disposable income away from the pockets of people. So even at that, the land use charge, which is called property tax in other climes, also we were able to collect about 14 billion from that, which was also an increase. Now, let me also say that over 800,000 properties has been enumerated. Now, see the table below. The table below clearly showed internally generated revenue in 2023 and 2024, federal allocation in 2023 and 2024. You can see heavy increases in that. Still under revenue generation, Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, they have continued to position themselves to expand the tax net, plug leakages, and drive sustainable revenue growth, which are vital for financing the state's urban and infrastructure needs. So because of all these policy changes that they are doing, that is what impacted on that figure that we saw. The LRS e-tax platform has been optimized and expanded to include stamp duties, capital gain tax, filing integration, geotagging, report builder, CAC integration, and also expatriate tracking through Nigeria NIS integration. In addition, the e-tax mobile app has been upgraded and migrated to the cloud for more robust, secure, safer access to user data. LRS has improved on its multi-level interagency collaboration through continuous data sharing and collaborating with local government, state MDAs like LAGVIS, LASRA, federal MDAs like CAC, NIS, FRSC, NFIU, FRS, OECD, and organized private sector. These are strengthening enforcement and tracking of high net worth individuals and businesses. The withholding tax compliance framework has also been expanded to include lotteries and winnings. Special focus has also been placed on the outsourcing sector by incorporating outsourcing disclosures in tax audits and requesting top taxpayers to submit outsourcing contracts. In line with all these initiatives, tax revenue generated in first quarter 2025 was 333 billion, up from 232 billion in corresponding period, making more funding available for the developmental agenda of the Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu administration. So basically what we are saying is that even first quarter of this year, we have done far, far better than what happened last year. And of course, the table there speaks to some of these things that we have been talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was introducing the Amazon beside Accountant General, I said the Chief Debt Officer of Lagos State. The lady you are looking at, that very pretty lady, is more than a man. She is the one in charge of managing the debt portfolio of Lagos State. And she has managed it so well that majority of the things that you will see there have placed Lagos State above every other state in Nigeria. The state government is committed to infrastructural renewal, using a hybrid approach, combining medium to long-term loans and innovating financing mechanisms.
Recruited retirees. These are retirees that are employees that were directly recruited. They are not on Oracle. They are directly recruited by agencies. And it is a strategic intervention aimed at transforming the pension management framework for parastatals and agencies. The sensitization program provided a platform for realizing several critical benefits which demonstrates the state's commitment to strengthening the pension system, safeguarding public resources, and ensuring all pensioners enjoy all the benefits they have labored for. It was also to educate the participants comprising of CEOs, heads of administration, and heads of finance and accounts on pension funds contribution management for parastatals organizations, thereby enhance and improve welfare and better service delivery of Lagos State government's workforce. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Establishments, Training and Pensions, Mrs. Olubusola Abidaku, was on hand to speak extensively on the importance of aligning pension management with employee welfare and organizational goals, while also advocating for proactive measures such as will writing and the adoption of inclusive pension plan like the micro pension plan. During her presentation, she also highlighted the critical role of pension benefits in employee motivation and retention, noting that providing a secure retirement plan gives employees peace of mind, which in turn enhances productivity and loyalty. The pictures here are depicting the one-day sensitization program as explained. Project monitoring activities. The project monitoring is conducted with the primary objectives of ensuring the successful execution of the projects and that funds allocated for projects are utilized efficiently and transparently. The PMO team visited over 25 parastatals, agencies, and government companies project sites to monitor newly awarded ongoing projects and ascertain the state of such projects. The aims are to track the progress of the projects, especially those that are newly awarded or currently ongoing as explained above, to evaluate milestones achieved, to ensure accountability of funds and resources, to identify completed projects which have fully been commissioned or about to be commissioned, and to improve future planning and purposes. Achievements of the exercise, the PMO had better oversight of what is operational at each project site across the 25 parastatals and agencies. Detection of delays or gaps were identified early and cited for correction, and observations and challenges were also noted for compilation of reports and necessary follow-up. These are the list of the agencies monitored in the area of projects execution. In terms of this objective, the office has initially organized a sensitization program as mentioned, and along with other senior officials within the offices in order to properly intimate them about the aims, objectives, and processes involved in the campaign and the proposed I'm Alive exercise. The exercise will involve collection and collation of background data and on the spot online verification of pensioners. The process will include collaborative fora with the Lagos State Pension Commission and the Ministry of Establishment and Training. This is to ensure synergy and seamless execution across the board. Concerning the Know Your Agency's radio program, the office also plans to expand its horizon by accommodating other indigenous languages such as Igbo, Hausa, and Igbo. The objective of this is to reach out to more people at the grassroots, especially the local communities, thereby ensure inclusivity of the entire Lagos residents in consonance with the Teams Plus agenda. We identify gaps. When we carry out whatever, is it monitoring, evaluation, once we identify gaps, we liaise with the CEOs. What we want to do is to follow up and make sure that those areas of gaps are dealt with. Sometimes we invite CEOs to hold one-on-one meeting and we brainstorm to see how we want to mitigate the factors that will lead to that could adversely affect their operations. So that is the way we go. In respect of the second question, overlapping function. Each of these parastatals, they work with the enabling laws. Each of the parastatals, they have their enabling laws that guides their activities. We can talk of activities complementing each other. And we have one of the agencies is called law reform agencies, where these enabling laws are reviewed from time to time to make sure that emerging trends are also considered in the updating of these enabling laws. And in the area of cost of governance, we even have some agencies that are self-sustaining. And of course, Lagos State government, we know that we do our best. That's why they call Lagos State government center, Lagos State the center of excellence. The agencies they generate revenue, they ensure that they align with the Themes Plus development agenda of the state. So I don't really think we have this wastage in governance amongst the agencies, because like I said, some of them are quite self-sustaining. Like the Honorable Commissioner mentioned that there are even some of them that other companies, corporate organizations, they look up to them. They come to them to share knowledge and find out how they do it right and well. The parastatal revenue generating meeting, as we explained, it is the meeting where we look at the details, let me say the subsets of revenue items. So where we see that, so in the area, normally the only challenge we have is when an agency has not met with the set target. And there could be so many factors, responsible for that. We know sometimes the members of the public, they don't like paying taxes. You serve some of them notices. These are things they talk about. They serve notices. They claim they haven't seen these notices. We are improving every time. We have the automated processes that is being adopted by the state. And in the speech, you will recall that we talked about agencies that are really doing great. They come to share their experiences and strategies, how they are doing it, how, let me say material testing, she was able to tell us how she has been, our business processes and their operational activities are been enhanced to make sure that people are sensitized on the need for materials on the site of construction to be tested, and their processes are very seamless. So and they even give, like some agencies, they give discounts when you pay on time. You, as approved by our dear governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, some agencies are given the prerogative to give discounts to some members of the public where they come on time to make timely payment of their fees. And this is also another way to go for other agencies that could be experiencing challenges of people not responding properly to when they are asked to make payment. And also other logistic problems are also discussed, and we make this known to the appropriate authorities so that whatever needs to be done will be looked into.